Thanks so much for tuning into the trade setup. I'm Neeraj Shah. Let's take stock of what's happened in the markets overnight, and then try and figure out the trade setup for the day. Well, the U.S. markets had an okay day, about a third of a percent for the Dow. The Nasdaq was flat, and in fact, an after-hours trade, the Nasdaq has actually slipped a little bit as well post Tesla con call as well as Netflix earnings. The other cues will come up on your screen next, and well, the dollar index flattish 99.8, so thereabouts. Yields between 3.7 to 3.9. Volatility index slightly higher, S&P 500 VIX, but nothing to really write home about. The gift nifty should be indicating a flat start, maybe marginally lower. uh, yeah, cutoff 0.02%, so very flat is the gift nifty as well. Now, some global news flow. So the Asian tech stocks, and we don't have too much out of it out there, which is product based, but they see headwinds from Tesla and Netflix post market hours corrections that have happened in both of those. Apple, in fact, is racing to develop its own generative AI tools to catch up with OpenAI. Oil is steadied as the drop in US stockpiles offsets demand concerns. And more importantly, wheat futures soared as much as 9%. It's the biggest jump since 2012 as Russia has threatened ships sailing to Ukrainian ports. This is peak transportation, peak harvest time. And if indeed the crop doesn't go out to the world, then obviously wheat prices will have an impact. Now, there are various stock implications to this as well from an intraday trade perspective. Even cotton prices, but incidentally, have inched up quite substantially higher. So you will probably see some bit of movement in stocks connected to wheat and cotton as inputs as well. So watch out for FMCG, watch out for some of the textile names, if at all. But yeah, there is some bit of activity out there. And what's the trades? So that's the global news flow. What's the trade setup for the day? We saw yesterday that Reliance Industries and banks drove the index higher in a day of heavyweight participation. Yesterday, we saw some very strong cash market buying into Reliance Industries by virtue of the fact that the FNO contracts were expiring and people would have swapped out of derivatives into the cash. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But Reliance and banks essentially drove the index higher yesterday. And more importantly, even when the index had not moved for the better part of the trade day yesterday, PSUs were the strong suit. Both the PSU index as well as the PSU bank index stood rock solid in trade yesterday. And a lot of investors are pretty bullish on this space as well. Yesterday, you heard Sridhar Sivram of Enam Holdings talk about how they believe that while they were early, they're still not willing to give up their bets because they believe there is more in store from the PSU side. So watch out for that. And busy next 2 days of IT results, but I would suspect it's not the hottest sector to take large investment bets. Small trading bets, and a lot of people have bet on Infosys doing slightly better than what TCS and HCL Tech would. There is Persistent, Emphasis, at some point of time, KPIT, and a few others coming out. I don't think it's the hottest sector to take a bet on, so be mindful of that. Flows looked okay, about 1,060, 1,165 crores worth of buying from FIIs. DI sold stocks worth about 2,134 crores. I missed out on the plate on the earnings, so excuse me for that, but we'll move on straight to stocks that we got to watch out for. Now, Reliance, top of the pile, saw 67% of delivery based buying in trade yesterday. Out of every 100 rupees, 67 rupees were marked for delivery in Reliance yesterday. Now, mind you, like I said, that could well be the case because people who had large, long leverage positions in Reliance Industries, because the FNO contracts were expiring and you don't want to miss out on an important day like today on Reliance, that so many people that I spoke to converted their derivative positions into cash positions. So no wonder there's a marked uptick in the delivery based buying. Now, the same could unravel today as well, as people who want to stay long on the derivative side for next 2, 3, 4 months would swap out of their positions into Reliance, from Reliance cash into Reliance derivatives. So be mindful of that. Today, there could be some bit of cash market selling and derivative based buying that could happen in Reliance. Mind you, it's an important day for Reliance. We'll be talking with Deven Choksi at 8:30, Sushil Choksi at 9:45 about what to do with Reliance Industries now that there will be a constant price share of one offshoot, and the main Reliance starting to trade in a pre-open discovery session which will last for nearly an hour. So it's an important day, something that I haven't quite seen too often in my career as well. So let's see what happens to Reliance today. My suspicion is that it could do well. Transformers and rectifiers will actually not do well. Now, the Gujarat Energy Transmission Corporation has decided to stop dealing with the company for a period of 3 years. The stop deal notice is on the grounds that the company had allegedly submitted forged material dispatch clearance certificate for certain transformer supply. The company said it conducted inspection tests and it's taking steps to defend its position against this allegation. I suspect that while the company will do what it does, today there will be a slam dunk on the stock. The same could happen, as my colleague Varsha tells me, to Krishna Diagnostics. Now, I don't have graphics for that, but apparently Krishna had got a large order from the government of Rajasthan for a hub and spoke setting up of the diagnostic labs, as the case may have been. And I think that order this morning we got the news has been cancelled. So, in addition to transformers and rectifiers getting a big downtick today, possibly Krishna Diagnostics could be the other one that could see a bit of pressure in the session today. So, do watch out for Krishna Diagnostics as well. Thanks for that, Virat. Now, Shree Cement is the other one. It's received an inspection notice from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The company said it will comply with the directions. The the problem with going short on something like Shree Cement on this piece of news is we know that there has been a bit of a probe around Shree Cement for various reasons. And yesterday you saw what happened, uh, you know, to one of the companies which also had an inspection notice like this. So doubt that there'll be a really sharp downtick possible, but you never know. So do watch out for Shree Cement. If it corrects, you know why it is correcting. There's Sun Pharma, which also could be in a spot of bother today. Crane Savage Asset Management, which is the largest minority shareholder of Taro, has opposed Sun Pharma's bid to take Taro private on account of low offer value. Crane Savage says that shareholders could receive $45 per share on liquidation of Taro, compared with Sun Pharma's offer of $38 a piece. Now, what this would mean is that if indeed the minority shareholders' view holds a lot of ground, then Sun might have to up the offer price on Taro, which is negative for Sun, right? So Sun could be in eye of a spot of bother today. What could do well is PNC Infratech. It's got a very strong book to bill ratio, and on top of it, it's signed a concession agreement for 3 hybrid annuity mode projects with NHAI for a bid project cost of 3,264 crores. It's for a period of 24 months. This only adds to the attractiveness of PNC. It's a stock that's rallied quite a bit already, so keep that in mind. But watch out for PNC Infratech. Watch out for Mega Engineering. Electra Green Tech has awarded a 395 crore order to build electric vehicle manufacturing facility in Hyderabad. Mega Engineering is Electra's parent and the ultimate beneficiary, but effectively they will construct a 400 crore facility for Electra. So watch out for Mega. Watch out for Federal Bank. It's opened the QIP issue. It's approved at about 132.59 rupees per share as the floor price. In terms of results, not too much to write home about. Tatacom was ho hum. Profits were 381 crores, slightly better than 374, but on that base, you would agree that it's almost in line. Hudson Agro had a decent margin performance. Revenues were flattish, 6.75% uptick, but margins showed up about 200 basis points at 11.06 versus 8.84. Net profit up 54%, so good going there for Hudson. L&T Finance, I thought did okay again. NII was up about 5.76, but PAT jumped 102%. And Morgan Stanley is equal weight with a target price of 105. They believe higher than expected NII plus fees drove the 2% PAT beat, not too much. Balance sheet retailization has continued. The retail AUM has grown about 34%, and the provision cover has improved. The net stage 3 formation remains low. Morgan Stanley believes it's good to be equal weight here. And lastly, on Canfin Homes, the results had come out. Jeffries has a buy rating, a target price of 850. This thing, the PAT grew 7% over the estimates because of better NIMS. NIMS 17 bips higher QOQ, loan growth of 18%, and credit costs falling higher than estimated at 14 bips QOQ. So these are a few stocks to keep at top of your mind. Net viewers, busy day for IT. We've rallied quite a bit. Don't be surprised if there's a bit of a pullback, maybe because of NASDAQ on the tech side, but Infi numbers come out. Expectation is Infi could do much better than what HCL Tech and TCS and Wipro have done. So maybe there could be an uptick, but mind you, smart money is already positioned for that. So be careful if you're trading that. And yep, big day for Reliance, and we'll be bringing you that whole coverage at 8:30, then at 9:45. So Devin Choksi, Sushil Choksi join in to talk about their views on what to do with Reliance. You might want to tune in for that. And the India Opportunity Panel, Manish Chokhani and Ramdev Agarwal talk about how to build the mental model to take large bets. So you will get to hear that at 10 a.m. today. And a touch of earnings conversations. Kabir Ahmed Shakir of Tata.com at 11:30. A bit later on, you will hear Mastech as well on BQ Prime. So watch out for all of those conversations. And thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup. Have a great day ahead.